Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. What in the unholy spawn from down below is that Moana trailer all about anyway? It looks visually challenging to accept as a live-action version of a film that everybody can still go back and love even to this day, and a story that breaks down in a way that kind of allows you to accept what happens and the premise around everything, including Maui's participation and the ridiculousness that was. But the live action Moana trailer has arrived, and somehow it's worse than expected. Those aren't my words, they're the words of Jordan Rumi, and we're going to share them right now. Here we go. But before we get started, please do me the small favor of double checking you're subscribed to the channel. If not, click the subscribe button and click the little bell icon next to it and turn on all notifications. That'll make sure you don't miss anything from entertainment to information to even hard news items, which I do every single week, multiple times a day. You don't want to miss any of that, so do yourself a favor and hit the thumbs up button right now. And if you haven't already seen a video from me today, go ahead and follow this video with another one from my channel. On that note, let's get going. Right to the story from Jordan Rumi over at World of Real, doing another spectacular job. And asking the same question I asked a moment ago, how is this worse than we even expected? I don't know. Disney has infinite money. Couldn't they have done something better? This is a weird wig that we see Dwayne wearing, and it's got to be embarrassing for this guy. And again, he's also wearing an odd bodysuit. And look, surprising absolutely no one, Disney is back yet again with another live action remake. The House of Mouse dropped the first trailer for Moana using Catherine Laguia and Dwayne Johnson as, well, the participants in a remake that never should have happened. It's really more of a cash grab, and I believe the article here does get into that, but it's somehow even more disappointing than expected. And you know what? That's 100% accurate. Everything looks artificial, from over-the-top CGI to the flat, lifeless backdrops, which I think are largely because it was probably shot on the volume. This thing echoes what I thought was just ridiculous about the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania movie from Marvel. It's just lifeless. Through and through. The lack of vibrance we've called out before over on WDW Pro's show. But how does the animated version feel more real than this so-called live action update? Well, there's an overwhelming amount of effects, and Johnson is buried under a wig, and he looks downright ridiculous. Nobody can argue that. He does. It's 100% wrong. He looks wrong. And if you're wondering why, you probably already know the answer. This is the latest IP cash grab. There it is from Disney. Plain and simple. And regardless of quality, it'll likely sail past $1 billion worldwide, just like the Moana 2 animation did. But unlike Lilo and Stitch remake, which looked good last July, this is something that just doesn't. It's also worth noting, if you thought the Smashing Machine signaled a full pivot for Johnson into an art house territory, think again. He still needs to make money. He's not wrestling nearly as much. And I'm arguing he's lost so much weight and muscle mass, maybe he can't. He has projects in development with Darren Aronofsky and Martin Scorsese, but he remains firmly planted in blockbuster territory, starring in Moana and recently wrapping Jumanji 3. Which, if you don't know, I'll be dropping a video on probably tomorrow, talking about the push of its release date in order not to collide with Doomsday and, well, anything around Doomsday, because those are two films that are going to wipe themselves out. Why not wait and release on Christmas Day like Jumanji 3 is aiming for? Again, video coming out in the future. But for some, the reality is becoming harder to ignore. Before smashing Johnson meticulously built his career around the maximum box office returns, which actually is true. In fact, I think his absence is one of the problems with the recent Fast and Furious films. Not having him there as the foil for Vin Diesel's character has, kind of felt hollow since 5. Now, a standing ovation at Venice doesn't erase that history of what Smashing just absolutely refused to do. But for nearly 3 decades, he's charged headfirst into blockbuster after blockbuster, including The Jungle Cruise, which is another Disney folly film, and G.I. Joe Retaliation. Not great. Rampage, meh. Red Notice, and San Andreas, which was, pure garbage. The Tooth Fairy, of course, family appealing fun fare, which did okay, Central Intelligence, which died on the vine, and then the 2 Jumanji films that were obviously a reboot in a way that actually worked for a period of time. I'm wondering if Jumanji 3 will as well. But Black Adam was a huge gamble. The DC franchise set it up for him, and he built an entire franchise around him, and then it was no more. Back in April of 2023, the live-action Moana was announced as arriving with unusual speed. When it hits theaters on July 10 of 2026, just around the corner, the original will be just shy of its 10th anniversary, a surprisingly short turnaround for a Disney remake, and one could arguably say never needed to exist, at least not now, and maybe with somebody else in the starring role. Suffice it to say, there's little argument to be made about why this film had to be made. There isn't any. The animation still looks as good as it did when it came out in 2016, and everybody enjoyed the film at that time, along with its original soundtrack, which was absolutely brilliant. The characters were well played and well voice acted, and everybody enjoyed it from beginning to end. The live-action Moana, its arrival has been downvoted into oblivion on YouTube, and I imagine those numbers are going to continue to come in, where this thing gets a proper ratio when all Disney had to do was not sell out completely for it to succeed. Is it worse than expected? I think so. If you take a few minutes to watch the trailer, you'll probably agree. Is this something that Disney is responsible for? Taking these films, these classic animations into live action for just another payday? Is it a mechanism they think will pay off eventually? And why did they cancel physical media in the first place if they refused to release good quality material now? Good questions, all I think. Your thoughts I would love down below. Are you going to go see Moana 2 live action? Are you going to go see Moana live action film with Dwayne Johnson and the new young lady who actually seems like a decent casting? Or are you going to skip it or wait for Disney Plus release? Or do you have Disney Plus, or do you not waste your money on Disney Plus at all? Let me know down in the comments section below, and anything else I missed that you think is important about the live action Moana trailer and the film coming out in July. Again, let me know in the comments section below. And as always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands because it's good hygiene, cold and flu season, you know. And until next time, see ya. Just probably not at Moana live action. Heads up, That Garden Place is coming at you this week, so make sure you get subscribed early. Thanks. See you next time.